I didn't mention, but in my very first conversation with Warren in private after I was married to him, then he asked me, "Are you a healthy person?" I thought I was healthy. I really did, I thought. But he had me immediately like subconscious of my weight. I weighed 160 pounds the day that I married him. 2 days later, then he had another wife going on a cleanse, and he said, "You are only useful to me if you get healthy and stay healthy." And he said that in front of like probably a dozen women, 10 children, probably. He asked me to cleanse with this other wife. And when he said, "You're only useful to me if you get healthy," then one of his third wife was like, "We all know what that means." And then they started laughing, and it was like an embarrassed laugh. And then Warren started making all these faces that later I found out were supposed to be sexy and funny and attractive. So also I hadn't been sleeping. I hadn't slept at all since I'd gotten married. This was 2 days later. I was like could barely keep my eyes open. I was having allergies. I had asthma. So I was like just straining to keep my eyes open. I had dirt in my eyes. The air quality was not great where we lived in the desert. And here's a form of like his subtle bullying. He would ask people questions just so he could make fun of them a little bit, just a little bit. He's like, "How come you're sitting there with your eyes open like that?" And then he turned to everybody in the room, and I'm shy. I don't. I'm quite introverted, and I don't like all the attention drawn to me. So immediately, everybody turned and looked at me. The children started laughing. "Ha ha ha, you're right, you're right. She's going like this with her eyes." I felt so bad, and I felt tears well up. I was gonna cry. I'm 17 in this really new environment. Nothing was as I thought it would be. Nothing, nothing. And it just felt, I was so embarrassed. But what I later found out, even from my sister, is that I have naturally like bigger eyes, open eyes. And my sister was like, "Do you think there was a bit of a jealousy there? He couldn't stand the fact that you had anything attractive at all on your person." The other thing that really bothered him, and I know that it did from the beginning, I am Warren's second cousin. My mother and his father are first cousins. He did not care for my mom at all. There was history, their family history. There was just drama. He did not care for my mom in the slightest. I was named after my mother. My first name, Ida, was my legal name. And every time he saw me, every single time we interacted, he would say, "You sure look like your mother. You look so much like your mother." It almost like I felt like stopped him from any kind of like intimacy. He'd say, "Do you like your name, Ida? Do you like your name? You sure look like your mother." And then he'd page me over the intercom. He'd say, "Mother Ida." He'd be all emphatic over the intercom. I was very naive. I was very innocent. So I just assumed every time that he said something that felt a little bit negative, indicated that I was chubby, or anything like that, I took it so internally. Like something is so wrong with me because I'm fat. And I had been subconscious about it as a child growing up. I had felt very subconscious about my weight because my older sister was a tiny girl. When she got married, she had a 22-inch waist and she was 5'6". So just, I know now because of all the things that have come out with Warren, I now know that he was a pedophiliac. I never fit into that because I am not tiny. I was medium. My ring size at my very thinnest was a size 5. So yes, I can be very thin, but my comfortable comfortable size, my ring size is a 5.5 to a 6. And so I just feel like that I never excited him sexually. And almost from day one, everything, you'll be useful to me if you get healthy and stay healthy. You need to exercise. Why don't you go on walks? He was constantly telling me how to change my body. Constantly. He put me on a 10-day cleanse 2 days after I got married. 2 days. So he was always telling me exercise, fast, whatever. His bullying was subtle, but it was definitely there.